I just rolled credits on Death Stranding 2, and it brought back a lot of what I loved from the first game. The strange world, fantastic visuals, and some really fun gameplay moments. When you look at how the industry reviewed this game, it sounds like it knocked it out of the park, a clear upgrade over the original. But honestly, I preferred my time with the first game. Oh, greatest pizza slam! Pizza, pizza, pizza! Boom! Let's start with what's improved. In terms of quality of life, it's undeniable. You can now see the weight you're carrying visually as a color-coded bar. Backpack management is smoother with tools to shift, organize, or drop gear without interrupting combat. Map planning and route tools are deeper. You can now fire weapons from vehicles, no more switching bullet types mid-fight. Weapons and items are simple to use, and the training room isn't even required. On paper, all of this feels like an upgrade. The first third of the game is actually welcoming. It tricks you into thinking there's more to discover. Combat is amped up. New robotic enemies, the Ghost, push you to use lethal weapons. Mules encourage a more stealth-based approach. Enemy checkpoints and heavily guarded bases turn traversal into a tactical experience. Sandstorms add danger to deliveries. BT encounters get claustrophobic, they trap you in caverns with no way out, and then flaming whales drop from the sky, destroying your ride and forcing you off course. At this point, my review sounds like everyone else's. It sounds incredible, and for the first 10 hours, it is. But after that, it all fades away. That's the thing, is like they showed so much of this end stuff in the trailer because they had nothing else to show throughout the game. Nothing. The real Death Stranding 2 starts to show itself, a wide open map with very little challenge. Bosses are reused and their fights don't evolve. Enemies get guns and armor, but not in a way that changes how you fight them. Side missions offer some cool moments, but they're rare and scattered. The pacing drops off hard, and when a game starts strong, players' expectations are set. If the game gives you less and less to look forward to, that love starts to fade. Even in a slow burn like Death Stranding, you need momentum. The story in the first game had more purpose.
Talk about terrible, Sam.
This game, I feel like there's less motivation in the story in this game. I loved the first Death Stranding. It wasn't just about gameplay or getting from point A to B. Those games already exist. Death Stranding was cinema and gaming blending into something entirely new. Everything in that world was a metaphor for connection. You could feel that Hideo Kojima took every concept, death, loneliness, rebuilding, and turned it into something interactive. In Death Stranding 2, that sense of journey is gone. There's nothing to discover on the way. Yes, the ending is big and emotional, but it feels more like a spectacle than a payoff. There's less character work this time. Gone are the personal moments like dead men awkwardly showering with you, learning about Mama and her twin, Hartman dying mid-conversation, Sam refusing to be touched. These weren't just quirks, they taught us about the world and made the message behind the Death Stranding feel earned. If this game didn't have fast travel, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have backtracked. I would have been like, no, you can't get me to do it. I'm just gonna continue on. Sucks, I'll watch the cutscene on YouTube. The game opens strong. Fragile's attack in Act 1 hints at a darker, more personal story, a mirror of what's to come. But when you hit Australia, you could cut out 20 plus hours of the Australia arc and the story would still make sense. Only the final scene in Australia and the Mexico portion truly matter. The game teases depth in Australia, 5 key moments that could be explored, but never commits. Sam's journey was supposed to be about grief and emotional fallout, but after a traumatic event, his behavior never changes. There's no arc. He's the same from beginning to end. The result? A surface level experience. You end up caring more about the actors than the actual characters they're playing. If you feel like something's missing in this game, this is why. I think what's confusing me is I don't necessarily understand what APAS is. It's a bunch of dead people that died and formed a legion. Let's talk Higgs. In the first game, he was apocalyptic Jesus. In this one, he's just on a revenge porn trip. He and Sam both suffered loss, a shared theme they could have explored, but they don't. And that's a pattern across the board. Characters have problems, but no way to confront them. By the end, everything's physically resolve, but no one grows emotionally. Kojima is known for mystery and twists, but this time that's all the story has. Most of the game is spent re-explaining the past. So when a twist happens, it doesn't feel earned. There's no emotional framework. We're just told this sucks and expected to care. But the depth, the why, it never comes. Death Stranding 2 nails its gameplay. If you're here to build, craft, or deliver, it feels smooth and rewarding. But it's also incredibly easy. I had to crank it up to the highest difficulty just to feel challenged, and even then, it never pushed back. The idea of exploring Australia was cool, but there's no depth, no connection to the land, the people, or the world's themes. The first game wasn't pretentious to me, but this one, it doesn't stand on its own merits the same way. That's why I have to give Death Stranding 2 a 6 out of 10. Until next time, play nice.